Welcome to Next One's Network, and shout out to all my ones. This is Next One's Avery, and we're back with another episode of Status Symbol featuring Chance, Polo, Hunter. On Status Symbol, we represent players that are creating their own markets, forging their own paths, and most importantly, need more opportunities because their talent does all the talking for themselves. And really excited to have Chance on board. He plays at Long Beach State. I'm a Long Beach native. I met Chance randomly. We used to host Next One's runs in Inglewood and also in Downey. And we ran into Chance and definitely made me a believer from the start. And excited to get him on board, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Cool. So let's just break it down. Start from the beginning. A lot of our fans, especially guys coming from mid-majors in the Big West, I played at UC Davis, so I kind of understand the opportunity or lack of opportunity there is to be seen, and this is an opportunity for our fans to get to know you. And once you reach the highest level, they can just come to this interview and really get to know the you at this time. Obviously, we're growing and we want to achieve our goals, but this will be a good baseline, especially during the coronavirus, man. So let's break it down to the beginning. Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Inglewood High School. Actually started out at King Drew High School.
Okay.
2 years, and then transferred through my second season to Inglewood High and spent my last 2 years there.
Why did you transfer?
Just wasn't too much was going on behind the scenes with my high school team, and I felt like this for me trying to get to the next level, that going to Inglewood was the best choice for me.
So you guys played. You played your games where the Drew plays their games.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm familiar with the area. I went to church on Central, right by the I forgot what the park is called. Literally right by over there. So understand. It's a big court. Was that adjustment? Coming from like middle school to playing on a big court like that. It's NBA size.
Kind of, but I mean, I was used to playing there already. I came in there kind of early to coach by me and just to get ready, so I was kind of used to it. I just felt like maybe at that age I was a little mature than a lot of kids my age, so I felt like I had a little advantage coming into it, but I felt pretty comfortable with that court.
Cool. And then you transferred to Inglewood. That's the city you're from, right?
Yes.
Cool. How was your experience playing in Inglewood?
Inglewood is Inglewood. Like, you feel me? You're in the hood. You never know what you're going to get just going to school. Me, I was catching the bus every day, so you never know what to expect in the morning. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty cool, though. Yeah. I mean, you learned a lot being in Inglewood. I feel like it definitely helped me grow as a person.
Yeah, learn a lot on and off the court. Yeah, definitely. Personal story, obviously not to talk about myself, but my next one, we have a different perspective. We're 4 players, 5 players, and their fans, and our different perspective is, everyone within our network has some ties to the game of basketball and has played, and I guess it's a chance for me to brag a little bit. I had a chance to play against Inglewood for a CIF championship. When's the last time Inglewood got a championship, CIF?
I'm honestly, it's been a minute.
Because it wasn't 09, because we took it from him. Shout out to Sean, Gomez, Go-Go, Man, Big Deshaun as well. And I think me and Anthony Brown, at least dub early. We blew them out. Crowd, fans leaving early.
Who's on that team?
That's what I'm saying. Deshaun Gomez, Terrell's older brother, and Man, little point guard, and then Big Deshaun that went to Iona. I think they both went to Iona right out of Inglewood. But I understand, man. It got me hyped because we played our CF game at Modern Day, and the band was going, the environment was different. I went to Ocean View. Not a lot of people know what that is, but when they think of Ocean View, they think of, lack of better terms, some white dudes.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously it was not the case, but obviously back to you. So after Inglewood, so how was the recruiting season? Like, who'd you play with for AAU?
Pangos Elite, and then I want to say ICANN All-Stars for a little bit too before that, but I ended up last year, high school I was with Pangos Elite for the most part.
With Dinos?
Yeah.
So you're traveling, you're playing against the best comp. Yeah, Dinos takes care of his guys. I'm a big fan of what he does. All right, cool. So let's talk about recruitment. Who's, recruiting you? What happened? What's your story?
Fresh out of high school, it was just like maybe a couple schools, like I was getting interest, but never really nothing. Contact coaches disappeared. It was kind of wasn't not the best recruitment, you would say.
Yeah.
So I was getting a lot of JUCO calls fresh out of high school, not really too many universities calling me, so it was kind of difficult.
Did you get a chance to play any league games?
No, I did not. I played in Pangos and I think another one.
Okay, cool. Let's see. And then after that, obviously you said JCs are calling you. What made you decide to go to Cerritos?
Actually, I went to prep school first.
Oh, okay. Well, I went to prep school.
So, upon it was kind of the bleak recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
I got a call about a prep school local in the area, in the IE, and I was just like he broke it down to me, everything about what prep school is, how to help me get to that next level, and I was like, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that recruitment like? For me, I would say I was a tweener as well. I had recruitment from, let's just say, Pac-12, ACC, all the way to the Big West. So either I'm just going to be a major role player at the highest level, or maybe be someone that they can build around at the lower level. Why do you think your recruitment wasn't as expected?
Just because I want to say my work ethic didn't really develop till later. So I feel like I wasn't really too serious about basketball. I was like one of them guys, like, I'm good. I feel like I deserve. I was entitled, but I mean, again, you got to work in this game, and I feel like I didn't put enough work at that age for me to have that type of recruitment that I thought I needed or wanted.
That's cool, man. Hey, self-awareness, well, I like to say self-awareness is a superpower, man. So, it takes a lot to recognize that and want to improve. So, what was the biggest lesson you learned at the prep level?
You just got to work. Like, consistency is everything. Yeah. And with professionals and college coaches, that's what they want. They want a guy who can do things every day, every game. They're getting the same thing, if not more, every game. So that was my biggest thing coming into prep school, and just knowing that you got to work for everything. Nothing's given.
Awesome. I'm sure you took that mentality obviously to JUCO. There's like a national saying, JUCO product, saying that, guys that go that route, obviously are no handouts, they got it out the mud, and obviously it's everyone's trying to get to the next level. So it's tough with politics and everyone, not playing selfishly, because, if you don't perform, how are you going to go to the next level, So how was it like at Cerritos? Like, what was your 1 year there, right?
Yeah. Actually, most people don't know, though. I went D2 first before that.
Oh, so, this is why we doing this, man. What happened? Yeah.
So I went to Cal State San Bernardino at a prep. I had basically every D2 in California was after me.
Mm-hmm.
Being from the city, you kind of like, oh, they shine on guys who don't go to D1. But I'm like, hey, I still get to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up signing at Cal State San Bernardino. Ended up not playing, redshirting, and was like, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I should chase that. I had a dream to chase a Division I scholarship.
Yeah.
And I felt like my skills, this is when my work ethic started to develop, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe I could do something more. If I keep working, maybe I could get something better. I watched Division II guys. No offense, it's good basketball.
No,
like,
of course. Yeah, that's what
but
we
I
do.
was just like, maybe I want to just have that aspiration to get a Division I scholarship. So I ended up going to JUCO at Cerritos.
Dang. That's quite, yeah, again, a lot of people didn't know that. Obviously, with your work ethic, you're athletic, you have NBA size, and you played at obviously multiple levels, high school, prep, JUCO, now D1. Have you ever posterized on somebody? And if so, can you give us a play-by-play of what happened?
Any of them, or
anything come to memory, man.
Man, I'm gonna go with St. Mary's. So
I remember that one.
Yeah, the atmosphere was already crazy, and the out of bounds play we ran really wasn't even supposed to be like how it happened. So I ended up getting like a pass overhead. My defender, he tried to front me, and he ended up going for it, but he missed. Yeah. And I seen the lane, and I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. I ended up, I don't know who the guy was, but I ended up like elbowing the dude.
Yeah, he was covering his face. I remember that. I saw that play.
Like, to see their fans, they wanted to get hyped, but of course they're at home, so they couldn't show too much love. But it was crazy just to start the game out like that. Yeah,
the atmosphere in Mirage is crazy, man. It's a small school, but if you know, you know. Like, I played there. I played at University of San Francisco, so they're on a conference, and I played at the Deli era and Mickey McConnell and all those guys. So those fans have always been nuts, man. And I guess that. The reason why I asked that is because that's kind of one of the things that stood out to me when you came to Nextones run. Just like, one, I was like, all right, we're a player discovery network, so my first question is, who is this? And then, kind of let your game for dude talking, not really, I would say laid back
Sure.
in situations like that. And I remember one play specifically, I put it on our Instagram page of TJ Short from UC Davis throwing it off the backboard to you. And you catch it's like, honestly, I wasn't really expecting it. It was just so like nonchalant. And then I realized how young you were because I thought you were already a pro.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, Long Beach State got one, man. It's just crazy. So I know we're just talking about the WCC with St. Mary's and San Francisco. And then, this year's been crazy, man. Obviously we kind of kicked it off with Kobe and we're losing people in the basketball community, RP Laugh and things like that, man. So that was devastating. That's one that person I didn't know personally, but I met him at the Nextones runs and that situation and did you know him personally?
Yeah, being in the city, basically everybody who hoops knows each other, especially in the inner city.
Yeah.
So growing up, I saw Lafayette a lot. I mean, we hooped all the time. And he's one of those guys who was just naturally gifted. Got Division I scholar. Like he was the definition of a bucket getter, like for sure.
No, I remember.
Like,
we got the footage.
He would torch you like from high school, like from young. He was just a killer, and it's just crazy. But I mean, I want to bring awareness to this mental awareness is real serious, and I think that more people, especially hoopers, should talk about it and just open up about it. And I feel like me as an athlete, I should, especially someone who's been through it, I just want to say that everybody isn't alone and you can get help and then you can get in a better situation. Just talk about it and don't just be by yourself and just try to handle it on your own. As most people say, be a man, but it's a serious thing and most people need to take it as a serious thing because that's a life that could have been saved. Yeah,
especially as black men, man. Yeah. Like we have the stigma as being tough and hard-nosed and, kind of like we see the social climate in today. It's like to make it in America is a different set of rules. So, balling that in and not confiding in people and things like that is tough. And obviously I did my research on you and we have a lot of similarities. I went to school, at first I wanted to have a psychology, but ended up being my minor. So what made you decide to go in psychology when you got to Long Beach State?
That's an error, actually. Which is crazy, yeah.
Oh, what happened?
I came in with kinesiology,
okay.
And then due to like a 10th away from my GPA, so I had like a 2.9.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up not being able to get it, so they put me in that. But it's supposed to be consumer affairs.
Gotcha.
Just for momentarily to like get my degree in that, and then I want to go back to athletic training and get a degree in that.
That's dope. Well, you still got time.
Yeah.
I switched mine. You got time, man. So, especially with this climate where we can just go to school online, like you can do, basically what you want. But one thing, obviously, you mentioned being an LA kid, and obviously we're talking about this year. So, can't talk about this year without mentioning Kobe and obviously the Lakers where we're at today. Do you remember, where you were at when you heard the news?
Yeah. Well, I think me and my homies, we was playing 2K. We had woke up that morning.
Yeah, it was morning. Yeah.
And we seen a whole bunch of fake, we heard it at first, but it was nobody who was real sources. Nobody had said nothing. So we're like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, who would make something up about Kobe like
Facts.
that? And then, so we actually stayed on our phone. We were like, what's going on? So we ended up finding a couple sources that started posting it, more and more people. And we're just like, that's crazy. Like,
damn, man. As a 90s kid, man, I know you're a little bit younger than me. How did Kobe impact your game, or did you look up to him or someone?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the guys I looked up to, especially being a person who loves to post. His fadeaway, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I want to say earlier in the year, I actually got to see Kobe. He came to Long Beach.
State?
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
The girls played Oregon, and I guess one of the girls...
Sabrina?
Yeah. So he was there. I ended up not being able to meet him, unfortunately. He was on his family mode, and I respect that. But
I respect
it was dope just seeing him in person, honestly.
He's like the one thing that a lot of people don't know, especially being in LA County. I'm from Long Beach, so being an LA County kid and things like that, is like you grow with Kobe, especially in our era, like he's like mythical. You kind of, you're growing up, you see this guy, he keeps killing all your whole life. It's like it's normal to you. So I kind of relate to you because I used to coach, and obviously his daughter used to obviously play in the AAU scene. So being out there, you see Kobe all the time, and as a kid, the kids rush him, obviously, but being like a little bit older and self-aware, respect him. You know, just like, dang, that's cold. That's the mom, but like, it's just dope to see him in real life. And personally, when that happened, it was like, it was nuts, man. Especially being our company's based in downtown LA, so just feeling that impact and seeing all the jerseys flood the city for weeks. And
I had another crazy moment with Kobe. So I was in the summer in the Drew League, and special guest, they don't even say his name. Everybody just stopped. Literally, like the basketball game stopped when he walked in the gym. Like, it was crazy. Like, everybody just started clapping, standing up. Like,
that's what I'm talking about. It's just so much love, man.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of love in LA for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of LA guys, we had a chance to interview Brandon Jennings when we played in the Drew League. That's someone I personally look up to on and off the court. I played on SCA when I was younger, so I had the front seat of him being the number one in the country and what the perks of that, and you know, at the time it was like Adidas and Sonny Vaccaro and that stuff, and now he's kind of transitioned to, you know, Tough Crowd. That was his name in the Drew League. You know, we talked about him pioneering the athletes that we see today, you know, bypassing college, going straight to the pros as another route to go to the league. Are you into, you know, anything off the court with brand ownership and things like that?
I'm very familiar with his brand. I actually hooped with him the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seen him last week. Him and Shakira had their little Tough Crowd gear on. But yeah, I'm into a lot of it. I feel like it's good that a lot of the guys in the NBA now are making their own brands because they know what we want. They know the look, how we feel. Like, we don't want no tight fitted clothes. Like, not tight, but you know how we got long arms.
Yeah,
our frame
out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so I feel like they make a lot of clothes for us, and I feel like that's what I'm transitioning into because that fits me and that's what I am. So I feel like the stuff he's making is representative of all the hoopers. We all can fit, and it fits our style perfectly. Exactly,
and his brand represents a lot, especially someone coming from him. Especially in like a brand coming from him, someone that, you know, had adversity on and off the court. You know, he had an injury, seeing the highs and lows of basketball careers, played in China, I believe in a different country as well. And still is relevant, still be able to build a brand, still able to, you know, help others too, because, you know, flat out, I'm ready to give him his flowers. Like, man, you've been on this. You know, 10 years ago, you're not going to college. Like, you started this. And he's still, you know, still encouraging guys to go to college and things like that. So I think it's dope that he's not saying, hey, be like me. It's just, this is representation of my story. And if you connect with it, you know, you kind of naturally gravitate to the brand. And we kind of see the same situation with Nextones because, you know, we do a lot with player discovery and a lot of guys that don't have an opportunity for film. You know, like if you type in your name, there's our videos, you know. And a lot of guys say that to us and respect our grind. So that's what we respect athletes and things like that have their own brand. So do you have anything in the cooks that you're thinking about doing or any exclusive drops you want to shout out or give a hit?
Shout out B-Lo. Of course, that's my brand to go to.
That's a go-to.
Shout out Warren, just copped some dunks today. Want to say shout out One of Ones. What's a quarterfinal? It's a couple brands. It's one more LA bands. I think that's it though. What I can say right now. Shout out Cactus Jack too though.
Yeah, I see you, man. I see you. Have you had a Cactus Jack meal yet?
No, I haven't.
Stay off the diet, man.
I'm a fan of McDonald's.
Yeah, we got NBA dreams. So we're talking about brands, Cactus Jack. Obviously, you know, the bigger you get as an individual and an influencer, your brand grows as well. So a lot of the talking points for our brand and also in NCAA is name, image, and likeness. What does that mean to you? And has those things, you know, kind of popped into your atmosphere of your Rolodex of things that you think about as an athlete?
Honestly, no, just because it's kind of a new thing. And I'm the guy who's just strictly hoop. So, I mean, if I got the image or the likeness, then that's cool. But, I mean, my main job is just to hoop. And whatever comes with it, then it comes with it. But I'm just focused on hoop.
Exactly. Yeah. I think in this era, especially with, you know, guys like, you know, we make it no secret. We support the Lakers. If we're gonna pick a side on the LA side, but we like to think about, you know, the athletes that LeBron represents, and that's more than an athlete. You know, being a brand and being obviously you have to take care of business on the court to have other stuff. But at the same time, you know, if other things come, why not? And if I'm being myself and I'm able to, you know, make money in the process, again, Why not? So I'm really excited about the opportunity for athletes to own their name, image, and likeness when it comes to the NCAA. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, but
not too much.
Yeah, if you look at a business, what's a business without their employees? And if we're looking at athletes as employees, they should be compensated because the coaches are. If my coach went to the NCAA and every round he goes, he's getting bonuses. And it's common, it's public knowledge, especially if you go to public school.
We might get an extra bill. That's
it. And what we get, we got some shoes. So exactly, that's why I'm kind of excited about the name, image, and likeness stuff, because we, as athletes, we have a lot of power. We produce the content that people love. And if we have the personality to back that, we should be able to monetize on it. And definitely, we need to get them some X1's gear and things like that. So with that notoriety comes haters. So let's talk about the negative side, man. So you don't want to say any names, but you have any stories or any tales about your biggest hater that you've seen so far in your basketball career?
Let me see. Let me think if I got any stories. Nah. I don't think I got any stories of really like real haters, but people just always told me like, you're not gonna be the best hooper. You're not gonna make it. You might no disrespect to NAIs, but they were like, you're a mid like D3 player. I don't see you not even.
Damn.
Yeah, like it was. I've heard a lot.
How'd that make you feel?
Motivation. Just makes you keep going.
Yeah.
It feels good to prove people wrong.
It does.
For sure.
It's hard not to take it personally, especially when you have the highest aspirations to do what you want to do. But, even, I guess I can attest to that with building my own startup and brand. And I guess basketball, naturally, it comes with the social media era. Everyone has Twitter fingers. Everyone, has that disconnect from the personal and the person. So it's kind of easy to hate. So I think it's interesting. Athletes, we get a lot of hate from people that kind of don't play or things like that. So you never got anybody in your mentions after a game talking to you crazy or anything like that?
Nah, nothing crazy. I got a couple like we need you to win or else, but nothing crazy like that.
Come on, Long Beach, man.
Yeah.
Chill out. I like the Long Beach fans, man. I had a chance to play, obviously, being in the Big West and playing, and every time I played in the Pyramid, it's shining my name. They know I'm from the city, looking at the roster, so, respect.
Munson says that too, like, if kids from the city, they be like, he's going to try to have a good game against it just because he's from
LA. Oh, yeah. I told my whole family to come out. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to show out.
For sure.
Especially for the I love Long Beach, man. So speaking of, Big West talent, let's think about, like, the NBA restart, obviously. We had the huge break, and now we're into the playoffs. Has anybody impressed you specifically? Any young talent this year that got on the radar that you're like, damn, this is motivation. Maybe I can make it too. Or this is like, this guy came from here, man, I can do that too. Like, for me, who really impressed me is Taylor Horton-Tucker. I think he showed a lot at Iowa State, but it's just he continues to get better. And he, the little flat, he might play 10 minutes, but it's 10 minutes he's being productive. So. Anybody that stood out to you?
Hero, for sure.
Yeah.
Just to be that young and have that confidence in the league is crazy.
And he's a bucket, man. He's a bucket. And then, you mentioned, being young in the league, and you had your opportunity to declare for the league this past off season. What was that process like for you?
It was difficult just because COVID, unfortunately, put a lot of restrictions. So everything was up in the air when I declared, so it was just like too many what ifs, what's going to happen. Yeah. The NBA wasn't even sure what was going to happen, so it was just like, just wasn't the right year. 2020 ain't been the right year this whole year.
Yeah, especially like, we're in an era where you can test the waters and get into pre-draft workouts, and if you can't have that, in-person evaluation, especially, a guy that you want to test your talents against, obviously other draft picks, it's just not that right. I guess it wouldn't be the right time. But throughout your whole career, everyone doesn't like to admit this, but it has to be at least one person who's giving you buckets, who's giving you a fit, hard to guard, Does anyone come to mind if I'm talking about people that's hard to stop that come in your career that
Buckets.
you want to give a little shout out to?
JUCO, I'm gonna say Jace. He's going to Louisiana Tech. I feel like we had a couple battles in JUCO. Who was just
What's his name?
Jace Bass.
Jace Bass.
I would say him. High school, the Ball brothers gave us some buckets. I would say, and EA. I don't know if you know him, Ethan Elvano.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me 40.
Oh yeah, I know who
he gave us 40.
He's a bucket.
That was probably the first time I was like, I actually seen somebody really just cook my team, and that was him for sure. He gave us like 40.
Dang, that's crazy. So, let's bring it back to like the beginning of your career. You know, I'm sure you have people within your camp that you rely on to make decisions, like like should I declare and things like that. But who really got you started in the basketball scene and made you start taking it seriously?
My prep coach. He was probably the first one who really believed in me as a player. He knew what I needed to develop on, and it was just like he took that time. Like most people don't want to take that time with a player, especially me. I was raw at the time, but he saw the bigger picture at the end, and he just took that risk, and I bought in fully, and he produced this product that's here today.
Hey, shout out to the prep coach, man. It only takes one. Seriously. It only takes one to put on that light and to give you the confidence to fulfill your full potential. Is there anybody in your camp that you want to shout out that helps you make these decisions to, proceed on your career?
Right now, just say shout out Veritas, my guy down at Veritas. They doing the right thing right now, just as far as with hoops, taking care of their guys, just showing love. They show a lot of love, and I appreciate them.
Did they help you make your decision to, go to Long Beach State? Were they part of the process? Or did you loop them into the process?
Not really, but they just want the best for me, and they just felt like that was the best situation for me, and they're behind me on whatever I do. That's why I feel like they just show love. It's not they want me to do this, they want me to do that. It's just they let me be me, and
Cool.
that's what I like them.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So why did you choose Long Beach State? I know, Coach Munson has a reputation of having a great schedule, playing against top competition. They produce, I guess, in recent memory, the only pros that come out of the Big West so far that I think of. So is there any other factors that made you lead to, want to go to Long Beach State?
Well, that was my first Division I offer. So I was coming out of JUCO. I still had another year. So most schools were like, yeah, we're talking to you. We want to give you this offer, but we want to see you one more year. So Munson was like, one of the assistants saw me in the JUCO showcase and was like, we need you. We know you can get your school done. So we want to give you these 3 years, come and play. And for me, it's in the city. I was like, that's perfect. My family can come see me. Munson just told me like, we're trying to win. We're trying to change the culture. And I felt like just winning, bringing that love to Long Beach, especially with having a lot of family in Long Beach, I just wanted to, put the city on. Yeah, that's my goal this year.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I want Davis to win, but also, I have a soft spot for Long Beach basketball. Obviously, everybody, from Casper Ware, James Ennis, Casper's, he's not a Long Beach guy, but he went to Gar High School, so it's local, and a lot of guys, saw that. But Coach Munson has an eye for talent, man. Definitely, like, I don't think a lot of guys recruited Casper at all. But look, he's like stapled in Long Beach record books and a bona fide pro. Had some time in the league too, so definitely on the right track. So what was that transition like from playing at JUCO to D1 level? Anything that specifically you had to adjust to, or did you just continue to play your game?
I just continued to play my game, just being confident in myself. Just helped me with that whole transition, because I feel like when I was in my D2, going through that transition, I wasn't really too confident, didn't really know my game. And I felt like coming to Long Beach, I was a little more mature, knew exactly how my game would translate to that level and what role he wanted me to play. And I just felt comfortable with that decision.
So what was the, how did I phrase it? This is your first, time playing at the D1 level. What was the experience or game that led you to believe like, hey, I've arrived, I can do this, I can play like, I'm one step closer to my dream?
First game at UCLA for sure. Just off the jump, it everything felt like a movie, kind of like it didn't feel real. Like everything was just set up, and it just felt like this is my time to shine.
Yeah, you were hooping, man. I remember I was like, look at the boss. I was like, oh man, he's getting busy. I wasn't watching it. I think I was doing something, but obviously, like, you know, we do with the highlights. So when I'm looking at the raw footage, I'm like, oh man, he's getting busy, man. And that's when I definitely, you already are on our radar, but we really want to start paying attention because obviously, you know, Big West players represent a brand. Obviously, we kind of big on Lamine Janae from CSUN. But I was like, all right, man. Shout out to Chris Smith, but like he's a pretty good defender, and then you were giving them fits and ones. They can't really stop you, man. But any other game? You had some big games against Florida. What other games did you stand out against?
SC.
Yep, SC as well.
I wanted to beat them bad in the Galen. That was probably another one just to play in the city.
Yeah.
It's one more. I like Davis. I like playing against Davis. They gave us a tough. It's just because Davis, it's not the team like you think you're gonna just come in there and just walk over them, but they actually hoop. And that was probably one of my favorite games playing against them.
Yeah. What? Let me see. What would Les do with you? Who's guarding you? I played for Les. I was like defensive stopper, so I'm very familiar with his defensive schemes.
I want to say Mooney and the Gonzalez brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those two.
They was sagging off you? They play zone?
No, I think I was man-to-man.
Man-to-man? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good matchup. I know Steven Gonzalez, or Stephen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his sorry, I should have known. But definitely getting a lot of looks, especially with the shooting percentage and things like that. So I thought that was really cool. You know, the Big West is definitely getting a lot more, you know, if it's that NBA or G League talent out of there, because, you know, if there's like a specialist or all-around athlete, you know, starting to get that recognition. What was it like when you dropped, that UCLA player? Was it like, did you look at him like, oh man, I gotta finish this, like, or were you just...
Again, it just didn't feel real, like, hitting him with the move, like, again, that's one of my things, just the setup is always a jab.
Yeah.
And that was one of my emphasis the week before, just working out, just making sure everything was crisp. And it was like a workout, like, you literally can't really prepare for that. It just happened in the moment. I'm just happy I hit the shot though.
Yeah.
And for me, can't waste the highlight.
Who do you, yeah, you can't waste the highlight. Who do you model your game after? Or there's a group of guys that you look up to, like, I know your favorite player is Kevin Durant.
KD, just as the slow, I don't want to say slow, but it's just comfortable. I move at my pace.
Yeah.
I like KD. Harden, just because I'm a lefty. His step back has really influenced my game. I had a coach, my JUCO coach was like, that's the worst shot. Like, don't shoot that, take that out your game. But as I developed as a player, I just showed him like that's my thing. Yeah. So say James, Kobe, post work, footwork, all that.
Yeah.
Again, so Michael, if I'm taking from Kobe, I'm taking from Michael. And I want to say Clay too, just because I'm trying to transition more to a shooter.
Okay, cool.
So I've been looking at a lot of Clay, just how he gets open, just his off-ball movement is just amazing.
Got to be in shape.
For sure.
Got to be in shape. All right, for all those names, cut, bench, start. Kobe, MJ, James.
LeBron's out of here. I'm starting Kobe, bench, Michael, and LeBron's out of here.
Oh, no, I thought you said... you
said James Harden?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, James gotta go.
He's out of here. All right. I just want to see the order.
Two killers. I can't...
Nah, I get it, man. I get it. Especially being an LA guy. I always root for LA guys. Let's talk about off-the-court stuff. I know you obviously attended Inglewood, and you know, growing up out here in SoCal is a little bit different set of rules. You know, especially, you know, looking the way we do. Is there anything crazy you ever experienced, or any stories you're like, dang, man, like this is nuts? Like, anything you had to get yourself out of?
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I'm chilling at the bus stop. Normal night, as an LA kid, we used to go to the we would call it the bridge, but I think it's Westfield.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, I got my fit on, I'm at the bus stop chilling. 2 cars run up on me, empty your pockets. I'm like,
oh, no.
Yeah, I got my money for go shopping, go to the movies, all that. instincts kicked in. Lucky I was a hooper.
Yeah.
And ran away, got away from the situation.
Oh, okay.
I was fast enough for me.
Okay.
So I got my move out and got out. But that was the craziest thing. Like, Inglewood, you never know. Like, I'm sitting there just ready to go to the movies, hang out with the homies.
Yeah.
And you never know what's going to happen, though, at any point.
At any point, man. It's crazy, especially, you know, if you're looking like a certain type, you know, it makes yourself a target, things like that. But yeah, obviously you have a lot of tattoos. How many tattoos do you have?
I would say probably more than 30.
More than 30?
Yeah.
Dang. When did you get your first tat?
My first tat was probably the one right here.
What age?
18.
Right when you're quote unquote legal, you're like, man, making a decision. What was it?
Oh, can I show it or?
Yeah, let's see.
Bible verse, 1 John.
Nice.
Yep. As soon as I came in, the tattoo person was like, "You sure you want that?" Like, that's probably one of the most painful spots, I guess people say. But I was like, "This is what I want. I'm trying to get it," and then knocked it out. To me, it was solid. Didn't hurt me too much. Tattoos really don't hurt me like that.
Oh, so you're paying attention. I don't have any tats. I'm not a tat guy. But I like them. I just personally I can't. But do you have any in there special to you that you want to give a shout out to?
This one probably my most known one. Everybody asks me this every run I go to.
What is it?
Why do you have 13? It's a 13. It's from my mom. She passed away when I was 13.
Oh.
So I just remember those 13 years of my life as cherish them for the rest of my life. Yeah.
Damn, man, I didn't know that. So, so do you mind what happened?
She ended up having lung cancer, not a smoker, clean at everything. Ended up going to brain, and then I want to say another type of cancer. She ended up actually beating cancer first, and then it came back 3 times harder. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I'm sure that's tough to endure, especially like you said, at 13.
Yeah.
How old are you? 13? 7th grade.
Yep.
Dang. Did you take any time off of school?
Actually, it happened right when school ended. So that whole period, I ended up like missing like a week or two. But again, that last week of school, you're not really doing nothing. Yeah. So administration was like, just go chill out.
Man, I can't imagine, man. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
any other tats?
I would say this one. It's a saying just for again mental health awareness. I'm due to when my mom passed, I went through severe depression, and it basically says to the world, you may be one person to one person you are the world.
That's dope, man.
So sometimes you might feel lonely, but just always remember you matter to somebody at the end of the day.
That's cool. That's cool, man. That's really dope. Now transitioning back to basketball, and obviously the coronavirus is a little bit of a situation. So what have you been doing now to prepare for the season? Obviously, we're kind of playing it by ear and seeing what's going on with the Big West and basketball, but anything specific you've been doing to stay prepared?
I usually don't give out my secret, but my biggest thing was cardio. And if you're a shooter, you got to be able to run all day. So I did a lot of cardio outside. I ended up involving pool workouts into my regimen. So that was one of my biggest things, just helping with me getting faster and more explosive. And then I had a couple workouts at the beach, but mostly just working on my cardio.
That's dope. Cool, yeah, exactly. Especially when you want to include more of that Klay Thompson type game, and you're running off the screens, and obviously you may start making shots, you're gonna get doubles and intention. You're already athletic and things like that. So you get that part of your game down, I'm sure you're gonna get a lot more guys. We've already had some success of helping guys get opportunities and, scouting reports and getting intel reports on guys. And I'm sure you're gonna have a lot more names calling. A lot more teams calling, asking me about your name, man. So we want to wrap this up. We definitely want to appreciate you for taking the time and letting us get to know you a little bit more. We cover a lot of content of you. If you haven't already, make sure you follow Chance on our next ones, also on Instagram, Twitter. You want to shout out your stuff right now?
Yeah, check that highlight out, man.
Yeah.
A lot of buckets, a lot of ISOs, all that.
Where can we find you on social media?
Chance Tresse is my Instagram, and I want to say too many underscore chances. I'm on Twitter. That's my Twitter.
That's a good Travis Scott song. Too many chances. I'm not sure if you know about that one, but also make sure to follow him on Next Ones. His Next Ones profile. That's where all his stats, content, and updated is where this interview will be uploaded to, and also smaller snippets when we talk about specific topics like mental health awareness and Inglewood stories and things like that. So we appreciate you taking the time, man, and that wraps up this episode of Status Symbol. Next one's Avery. We'll be back.
Appreciate it.